Hey guys, it's Avenger. Welcome back to the channel. And yes, that's the runway. We're at Swope Farm here in West Virginia, and I'm gonna get us off this camera straight away because it is very hard to see anything. We are here with the beautiful Justflight Piper Warrior. And yes, this is Swope Farm, but that's our runway today. Yeah. I thought you'd like it too. All these airports we're gonna go to today, this is the smallest, will be of course in the description for you to fly yourself. A couple little planes up here, a little shack, and a heckin' ski jump. Well, no, the reason we're here today, of course, is to take a look at this airplane because we've had it before, of course, for a while now, but it's had some pretty big updates. So we'll take a look at those updates as we go for our flight, but let's get ourselves on the way, shall we? Let's not waste any time with preambles. So pull up our checks, nice and easy. Pre-flight interior. Parking brake is set. Avionics master is off, I think. Everything seems to be off. So our nav, our avionics is down there somewhere, I believe, in the Piper. And because of my controls, it won't let me turn it off. There we go. Everything's off now. Fantastic. Batteries off. Flight controls are free and don't know. Yeah. Free and correct. Everything is moving as it should be. Fantastic. Flaps are, of course, manual on this sucker. Flaps are good to go. Elevation trim is set to neutral. Everything looks good in the aircraft as it stands. Doors locked and latched. It is latched. Fantastic. We are good to go. That is everything taken care of on that step of the flight. So control surfaces, we just checked those. Tie downs are removed. Let's make sure those are in fact removed. And we do, of course, want to have our working title GNS units in there. Kind of useful for us. Take our tie downs off, our chocks off, our wheel fairings we'll leave on. Fantastic. Wonderful. Trim sensitivity, this got added in a recent update. That's super cool. We'll worry about that later. Everything else is good to go there. Circuit breakers all in, carbs in, fuel selector to fullest tank. Make sure we have that done. We'll go to left tank, they're both equal right now. I know that much for sure. Okay, throttle open a half an inch, sorry. Make sure that is good. Battery to on. Alternator to on. Nav lights to on. Fuel pump to on. Make sure to rich. Propeller to clear. Ignition to start. Pipers are nice and simple in this regard. Boom. Avionics to on. 1200 on the RPM we want to get this thing warmed up nicely. There we go. Of course, the yoke's always a pain in the ass with Pipers. We're a little bit high on the RPM there, so we'll just bring that back for us. Leave it about 1200 while we get everything else set up for us today. So yes, we're heading across West Virginia a little bit in today's flight, just for the pure enjoyment of doing it, whilst we took a look at some of these options here. I'm not sure why my avionics aren't going on there. There's the fan. There's my avionics now, even though I switched it here. Some command controls will conflict with each other, that's just a normal thing. Let's make sure this is to an American setting here. There we go. Everything is looking nice and ready. We'll go up to 1700, do a quick mag drop. There. Both are the same individually, but together they give me a bit more boost. Not ideal, but both working fine. Okay, everything's good there for taxi checks. Of course, radios, avionics, those are all good to go. Altimeter setting is currently standard, so that's fine. Let's make sure these are both set here. Good, 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 good. It's looking right and proper for us. So make sure we have one notch of flaps here, and we'll go a little bit of nose up trim, not a lot. It should be fine there. Okay, everything is looking good for us at the moment, so we'll just have that set. Once the GPS has gone online, we'll get ourselves out of here and we'll get going to our first stop today, which is Welsh Municipal, or Welsh Municipal, depending on how they want to pronounce that. But taking off here should be at least fun, right? It's my kind of airport. Never even seen this before. I haven't flown to any of these places we're going to today, but we'll have a hopefully good time. Right. Get ourselves out here whilst this is acquiring satellite links. There we go. I've long loved the Piper Warrior from Justflight. It's a fantastic addition. We'll talk about some third-party additions in 2024 as well when we are airborne. There we go. And of course, it is not, for some reason, tracked. This is a very, very bumpy runway. This is going to be hilarious. Yep, it's not tracked my departure, so I'll have to quickly set that one in. Heading first to... oh, bother. I don't have that noted. India 25. India 25. Yep. Welsh Municipal, there we go. Fantastic, that's what we needed. Okay, let's get ourselves airborne here, shall we? On a very West Virginia runway. This thing's nutty. This had better be smoother. This had better be a lot smoother. Otherwise, we're in serious trouble here. Airspeed's alive. It's good. It's good. This is a pretty steep. Hold that up there. Now, one thing we're going to see once we get to Welch and we have some tarmac under our wheels, as we managed to clear that nice and easy, is that we're going to be dealing with some new ground handling in this aircraft. Because, of course, the new ground friction came in with the last updates, of course, and now this is updated to account for that. So, our big update is with 3.9. Yes, 3.9. So if you've not flown this in a long time, a lot of updates have happened to this aircraft, making it quite a versatile little airplane in the grand scheme. It's on Xbox now, in case you are an Xbox pilot and didn't know that. There we go. I'm leaving my yoke off because from a normal angle I could be able to see the RPM and I can't in this. Look at about 2250 there. Nice, that will do me just fine. So I'll turn my head off whilst we do this. Now, our big changes with 3.9. Improved low-speed handling characteristics, we'll test that out now. And you see they're taking off with that. It was actually pretty nice. Improved stall characteristics, we'll see those, we'll test that. Added the new Microsoft Flight Sim ground friction support. And added computational fluid dynamics support. Big important features there. Now, the improved trim logic. Now, the elevator trim is less sensitive by default, and a trim sensitivity slider, which is safe between flights. That's super cool. In fact, we'll test that right now. So, where's our trim sensitivity slider? So, trim sensitivity, we'll whack this up to the top, okay? So, I'm going to use my button trim, and that's super duper 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 up and down. So that's kind of neutral, and now I'll go to my trim wheel on my Honeycomb Bravo, and I'm gonna, you know what, with how, if you're only going to use like a Honeycomb Bravo as trim wheel, full sensitivity on this isn't insanely off. Like, you could dial this in to be pretty realistic without having to have an external program, because the Honeycomb Bravo's default setting, you have to spin that thing like a record to get it to actually trim like a normal aircraft. Whereas whacking the sensitivity up in this, actually responding almost as much as I'm moving it, which is quite nice there. Now, if I was to basically want to dumb that down and reduce that right to the bottom. Now, this is me trimming with the button, and it's taken me quite a long hold on the button there. to really make any difference to that, and that's neutralising it out there. Okay. This is the wheel. And it's barely moving. See how slow that is from me spinning the wheel? Yeah. So you can really customise that. That's quite a nice feature. I'd love to see that in more aircraft to really give kind of more versatility to how the aircraft behaves. And we've wavered completely off track here. We'll take the opportunity to do a little bit of a stall arena once we get above some... get some altitude. In fact, you see the green ahead of us? That is, I believe... You know what? This is a perfect place to practice. FCI McDowell. Federal Correctional Institute, McDowell. Club Fed. We'll practice our stalls above a federal prison. Why not? This seems like a great idea, so we'll go for slow flight and then stall. Oh dear, what's the worst that can... everything's the worst that can happen, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So whilst we head there and to our impending arrest... So previous versions of this, including 3.8, was mostly fixes. 3.7 brought in logic to the ADF system. It brought improvements in textures, tweaks to the autopilot navigation hold accuracy. You can no longer move the cockpit camera outside the pilot, the actual cockpit area. So you can't actually go outside with this camera, which is probably a good thing. Engine not starting when selecting ready for takeoff state. GPS nav logic changes for compatibility with the working title systems. Nice. And we had, of course, compatibility with TDS's GTNXI. 3.6 brought in SCU-12 compatibility, Xbox compatibility, latest models for the TDIS units for the GTNs. Where's McDowell gone? Have I lost it in visual? I had it a second ago, I swear. It's probably just over there, isn't it? Yeah, that'll be it. Just behind that mountain. Now I do know, down here, we've got way more functions in this. Including the ability to bring in SimBrief charts. We've got TOD calculators now. We've got our various other stuff there. Notepad, of course, was brought in. And this is the aircraft page. Of course, we can monitor things like our oil there, battery charges, different modes of setting. We can change what actual options we're using in the cockpit. I think I have this installed, so I'm not sure why that's actually operating, because I actually have that installed. The PMS I know I have installed. Not sure why that's not showing. Go figure. There we go. And that's why it's not good. Oh, hello, cloud. Oh, God. Spatial disorientation. A perfect time to stall an aircraft, don't you think? Let's get slow, shall we, in a cloud. Oh, lovely and dangerous. I do like dangerous. It's second only to flying over federal prisons. Oh, there's McDowell behind us. We flew right past it whilst we were messing with things. Yes, Federal Correctional Institute, McDowell. Which is, oh, nice and slow. Okay, we're getting slow. Getting slow. Hold our speed here. Hold the nose. And we're going to let the aircraft do what it wants to do here. Being a Piper, it's going to brake one way rather than the other when it stalls. And big mush here. Hold that nose back. I'm going to bring the nose up, in fact, a little bit here. To get it to brake on me. Mushing of the nose. Have I got enough altitude to mess with this? Let's induce a little bit of angle of attack difference on the wings. Oh, look, I just did a Piper. And we dropped that wing. Nicely done. And our airport is right here, actually, on top of that hill. So we'll bring her around. We'll set ourselves up for an approach. So we'll cross midfield, we'll join the downwind, and we'll make our run in. So actually, the stall physics feel much nicer in this now. Much more realistic rather than snapping very hard like it used to. Because the older version of this, the earlier models, did snap quite aggressively. Give it one notch there. There's our airport. Okie dokie dokie. There's the quarry over there. Okay, we'll turn her downwind here. There's the strip. Okie dokie. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay, 2 stages of flap should be just fine with how long this is. Okay, we'll bring her around. We're going to see how this slow flight handling really behaves. I don't want to keep her altitude here. We're actually quite low to the runway head height. Valleys will kind of, and peak runways will kind of surprise you like that. You'll end up below the tabletop without realizing it. Full flaps there. Got to roll in here. Power to idle. Got our threshold in sight so we know where we're going. And it does appear to be closed, doesn't it? Well, that's probably because it is. Is that going to stop us on this flight? No, it's not. Roll this girl in. We'll land a bit late past this crop of trees here. It's sloped, so it should be just fine. Nice and easy. Easy breezy does it. So, as far as airports go, I'll include these linked for you, like I said. But it's not super stunning. Like, this is just... This isn't even textured. I think they've just added buildings to where the actual default appearance of the actual airport is in the sim. So they've taken the default location and just appear to have added some buildings and or rocks or bits of vehicles. And that appears to be the extent. So the runways are still grassed over, which you didn't even exclude the grass on the runway texture or add actual runway surface to this, which is a little bit unfortunate, but they're definitely unique locations to go to. That's for sure. And whatever they used for the hangars, I think, is from a pack of library assets. And I don't have that one. And one wasn't described in the description of the actual link, so... Not sure what buildings I need for it, but I don't have them. Should have programmed the GPS before taking off, shouldn't I? Well, you live and learn, don't you? So I'm going to pop her up here. Build that speed. Let us sit in the ground effect there for a second whilst we do this. Whee! Off we go. And I know I need to head further south from here to our final stop, which will be down at Mercer County, Bluesfield. It's Kilo Bravo Lima Fox. So we'll get ourselves established for a second and straightened up here. So we're not going to crash into a mountain while I do this, and I'll turn my head off just to make it even easier. No, I already had the one I wanted, which is Bravo. Behave yourself. There we go. Mercer County, that's what we wanted, and it's straight ahead. I am a genius. Okay. Let's pull our power back to where we want it. Trim her accordingly. Now you will remember these are all textured tail numbers on these aircraft skins, so I don't need to change my actual aircraft number, as much as I probably should. So we talked about 3.6, of course, adding various tablet functionality upgrades, which, like I said, included importing SimBrief, monitoring position in real time with map tracking. So if we were to go to this, not actually use the GPS in the map there, we could go to our home key, we could go to our map, and we could at least have our location. So for ordnance survey level of detail on the map there. Nice to have. METAR, of course, for SimBrief OPF departures. We have top percent calculators. They added and updated lots of different animations in the aircraft. And there is an extensive, long list of updates to this aircraft that have gone on all the way back to its original release. And the original release was a long time ago. That was back in 2021. This is an old aircraft. Like version 1.1 came out in 2021 and it was the 23rd of July. So they've been updating this for a long time. And now this brings me to the important thing I was going to talk about here whilst we fly on to Mercer. Aircraft coming out to 2024. Will aircraft like this, the Justflight, Arrows, or this, the Warrior, that's weird texturing, will it be free? Probably not. Will it be a small update fee? Possibly. Now, here's the way I see it. If I updated all my aircraft together and every developer wanted to have an update fee, that'd suck. It'd be a lot of money. However, we are getting new abilities and features. This is not a straight port. So if they're going to straight port it, you might as well just install it yourself. Okay? If they're adding the new 2024 tablet system into the aircraft, not just as a pop-up, which I suspect people like Justflight will do because they already have a tablet here, so they can move their stuff to that. Is it going to have updates to its flight model? Probably. I don't know. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if they're going to be charging an update fee, I would suspect they won't be taking full effect of the 2024 flight model systems, of the various systems that actually allows, and I would suspect they'd be giving us more features. So we're talking like a $5 for an airplane? Yeah. I could see that. If that's what it's going to cost, maybe, yeah. However, most of you will go, but that's so much money to spend on all my aircraft at once. How could I be expected to spend 5 times 50? That's a lot of 5s. As my math brain fails. 250. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right. Either way. It is. But are you going to fly every aircraft at once? Do you even have all of them installed? I have a 10th of the aircraft I own installed. Maybe even less, because I own pretty much every aircraft. Which, trust me, has been financially ruinous to me. I have no money, because I have spent so much on buying aircraft for reviews. It's expensive, trust me. Now, I don't fly them all at once. And if I suddenly decide I want to reinstall, say, Justflight's Arrow, and I haven't flown it in a long time, I would... Or actually, no, perfect example from today. I reinstalled Black Square's... which one was it? It was the King Air. Yes, the analog King Air. I reinstalled that today. I haven't had it on my system since I reviewed it. Would I pay a $5 to update that one? Yes, absolutely. Would I turn around and pay immediately a $5 to update a certain number of aircraft I know I'll fly? Yes. Are they all going to be released as updates at the same time? No. Is it really going to be that bad? No. Some will come out free, especially if they've been released a lot closer to the time. We know, for example, FlySimWare's C24R, the Sierra, will be a free update because the cost is included in its sale. I'd suspect most things coming out very recently are going to be in the same boat. We know, for example, the Ronka Champ is a free update. Oh, the Decathlon, sorry, the Super Decathlon is a free update. So that will be a factor. If it's, of course, a famous flyer or a local legend that you already own, whether you are on Microsoft Store or Steam and you are on 2024 in Store or Steam, doesn't matter. Cross-compatibility has been apparently confirmed. Those will all be updated for you for free. That's loads of aircraft, so if A2A were to come to me and say, look, it's been a really long time since our Comanche's been out, we're going to charge you $5 or a tenner to update it, I would say yes. I've had years of fun out of that aircraft. I pay £9 a month as it is for Star Wars The Old Republic, which is a massively multiplayer online game, where I run around and pretend to be a Jedi and go vroom, 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 and stab people. I also play a light side Sith, which is hilarious if you play that game. Try it. It's so funny. The storylines and voice lines are comedic gold if you play a good Sith. Everyone gets very confused. The Jedi look like idiots. Either way, I digress. I pay a subscription for that as an MMO for £9 a month. It's normal for a lot of MMOs to pay a subscription fee. And if I only bought one updated aircraft a month, or two, it'd probably end up coming to the same price. But I've gotten years of enjoyment out of those aircraft, and it's not costing me that a month, is it? I paid £15, £20, £30 for that 3-4 years ago, and now I'm being asked to pay another £5 for 3 or 4 more years of fun with that. It's nothing. I'm completely okay with that idea. That's a tiny amount of money for enhanced enjoyment and new features. Imagine getting the new tablet system from Asobo in this aircraft, either replacing that or in addition to that. Because chances are, Justflight, for example, or A2A, who have their own system, may not choose to add it, because they could probably just add the app pages from Working Titles 1 to theirs, or vice versa. Real simple, right? Who knows? Point is, the updates are going to be happening. Developers may charge. Many will. We know that people like Orbex have already said for their sceneries they'll be charging on the older ones. Stuff that's come out very recently they probably won't be, they said, but they will be charging for older sceneries. For example, like the Orcas Island scenery I use for a lot of my reviews. As so old, I guarantee that will have an upgrade cost to it, but it wasn't super expensive in the first place, so it must be a couple of pounds. I'm fine paying a couple of pounds for a scenery or a pound or two. That seems completely reasonable. I only paid 12. Not the end of the world. It's not like the old Orbex sceneries where they were like £30 for an airport. That stuff was cracked. But the volume of people buying airports back then was super, super, super small compared to who are buying them now. See? Bigger market, lower costs. Bigger market, same profit margin or higher, we get to pay the rewards, reap the rewards as a customer because it's a cheaper entry price. So yeah, there'll be upgrade costs, and I'm reasonably okay with that. And it might look scary, like I said, because you're thinking of everything in one lump sum. My sim cost of upgrades could be north of £500-600. That'd be insane. But I'm not doing it all at once, nor would I want to, because I don't want to fly all those planes at once. I haven't flown the A2A Comanche in a year. I hadn't flown this before today in around 2 years, I'll be honest. I've flown the Arrow a lot, to be fair. I've flown the Arrow a lot. I do like the Arrow, it's a little bit quicker. The Warrior is really nice as an aircraft, but I like the speed of the Arrow. But it is very good. So these updates have been a big difference in how the aircraft feels and actually behaves compared to how it used to. And here we are at Mercer, so this one looks to actually be a lot more solid. We actually have a runway down there, which is lovely to see. We will make our final landing on a runway. We'll join the downwind here. Turn my head back on. I've been too busy nattering at you all and not actually paying attention to what I'm doing here, so we'll bring her around. We'll do a bit of buildings as well, so it's a wonderful turn up for the books here this 5th of November 2024. Nothing significant about this day whatsoever at all. Just a regular Tuesday in November. Actually, no, that's a lie. It's bonfire night in the UK. Guy Fawkes night. If you are a foreigner, it is the night where we as a country celebrate someone attempting to go kaboom boom on the Houses of Parliament. I don't mean go dookie, I mean more nukie. Just the 1700s edition with spicy powder. Well, Guy Fawkes tried and failed, and he got he learned his lesson repeatedly and aggressively and rather violently. Now, either we celebrate it because he tried, and who wouldn't want to do that sometimes, or we celebrate it because he failed and wonderful, the government was saved, hurrah. It's a mixture of options, depending on what you feel like you want to celebrate it for. But we set off firework to symbolise the boom boom, and people have bonfires because part of what happened to him was he kind of got done at a stake, amongst other things. I'm trying to avoid all the various words you can think of that describe the horrific things that happened during that event and to that person, because YouTube will hate me for it, and I don't want to get demonetized. I am a happy-go-lucky, family-friendly flight sim channel where I occasionally curse in Russian and German, but not in English, which is all that matters. Low speed handling's been improved, has it? Let's try a... Oh, hello. Let's try a side slip, shall we? Let's get a little bit asymmetrical here as we hop up over the trees. Whoopsie daisy. Boing. Over we go. Big floating because I've got so much room here. We're off to the left and I'm going to accept that. It's fine. There we go. Might have scraped the wheel pants actually on that landing. There's every chance of that. That is a humongous hangar. This was taxied in here. Now, surprisingly, it took them to like 3.4 or something for the storm window to be actually properly animated on the exterior, not just the interior. Let's bring her up here. Consider what I said regarding the update costs. If I was to just upgrade this, or just upgrade a 737, or another aircraft that I fly pretty regularly, I'm trying to think of a pay-war aircraft I fly really commonly. And the DC-3 and the 206 are my most flight time at the moment. Again, you're paying for me 2 or 3, 4, 25, 30 pounds. Gets you a bunch of aircraft in one go. You'll get bored of them. You'll get something else. It ends up actually making a lot of sense and not being anything, if any, real amount of money in a go. I know not everyone has a lot of money, and you know what? It's fairly bite-sized. It will work out. And it's not like we don't have a monumental plethora of much more advanced aircraft coming stock with a new sim for people to enjoy. So it's not like you'll ever be short of anything to operate, which of course is the important part. That is a very humongous hangar here. Well, not really in grand scheme, it's actually fairly normal sized. I didn't expect to see something that looked like it came from World War II England here, and that camera's refusing to go outside it. Okay, so it was solid from only one angle. So not the wildest airports, but they're also better than standard scenery, so in the grand scheme of things, not bad. I would have preferred the other ones to have, or where they had tarmac, for example, the previous one, to actually have had something as an actual firm surface, but I'll take it. Updates to the Piper Warrior from Justflight, and some ponderings and food for thought about Flight Sim 2024. Also, you can catch me this weekend, this Friday in fact, on Microsoft's official Flight Sim Twitch channel. We'll be doing the weekly fly-in, so you can come and join me there with them for that. Otherwise, I'll see you very, very soon. Bye!